Well, first of all, may I say thank you to Trinity for organising this event. This is the first time any such event has happened, and I have to say it's very welcome, because I remember the days when Trinity produced a disastrous universities bill, and only for my intervention, which managed to stop it in its tracks and give Trinity 6 weeks to amend the thing, there would have been a really problematic situation from Trinity. In the old days, they didn't engage with the senators at all. I'm glad to see the start of this engagement. We're in a critical state at the moment politically. We have a hung doll. The negotiations between Enda Kenny and Micheál Martin have broken down this evening. Fianna Fáil people have rejected Enda Kenny's suggestion. So we may very well have a situation where there's a minority government. If that happens, then the university senators will hold the balance of power. That makes them critically important. This happened once before, and I used it to introduce a very interesting transport bill. So there's the possibility of real change in the Senate. And even if this doesn't happen, we're in a very good position to urge Seanad reform. I spoke to Micheál Martin yesterday, and I said to him I was very interested in what he said about the need for an independent and professional Dáil. And I said, what about the Senate? Shouldn't that be independent? Shouldn't that be professional? We need reform of the Senate, and I've campaigned on this now for many years. There are things that we can do without a referendum. We can revise the nominating bodies, bring them into the 21st century. We can enfranchise the ordinary members of those. Think how wonderful it would be to have the doctors and surgeons and nurses electing somebody with critical information and professional capacity in that area. So there is a lot that we can do with the Senate to bring it into the 21st century. There have been two major referenda during this period. One was the referendum to abolish the Senate. That was going down the drain. It was 2.5 weeks to go. We were losing hand over fist. I discharged myself from hospital, came in and made a pretty fiery speech that you can see on the internet or on my website. And together with Sean Barrett and John Crown, the three of us turned that around and saved the Senate within 2.5 weeks of disaster. The second referendum was the marriage referendum. I have a long history in that area, won't go into it all, but I think I set the pace by starting the civil partnership bill in 2004. That put a bomb on the government. I was out on the campaign trail in the marriage referendum. I was on the bus. I was making speeches. I was emailing people. And it was a wonderful, wonderful day when that went through. With regard to the bank inquiry, on which Sean served with distinction, I nominated Mark McSharry in order to ensure that this was an independent, a bill of mine on electroconvulsive therapy, banning its involuntary use, was recently passed. I had a direct provision bill that looked at every aspect of this situation, would have passed only for the last-minute defection of Sinn Féin. On abortion, I was the first person in 1977 to put abortion on an election manifesto. I commit myself to the repeal of the Eighth Amendment and the introduction of proper, satisfactory abortion legislation. In the final week, 3 bills were attempted to be rushed through by the government. I stood against them. I was the only one. I couldn't get another person to second my amendments or to stand in the division lobby with me, but I held those bills up so in the new Dáil they could be reintroduced and perfected. Finally, during the past election, nothing whatever was heard about the environment. But I can tell you, I will talk about it when I get, if I get re-elected. Thank you very much.